The week started with meme mania resurging after a tweet from Roaring Kitty for the first time in 3 years. But the rally in GameStop and AMC shares both started to fade by midweek. Stocks are still up sharply, though, over the last several days. Joining us now with more, JJ Kinahan, CEO of IG North America. JJ, you're not the first person. You're not the first person to come in here and say that, as far as retail, it was kind of a non-event, even though it happened again. But it didn't really spread very much, and especially beyond GameStop.
No, it was pretty much 36 hours of excitement, if you will, Joe. But quite honestly, it started on Monday. Our clients on Monday really didn't participate as much. On Tuesday, they participated more. What was interesting is it was GameStop, and it was also a bit of AMC. And quite honestly, our clients participated more in AMC than they did in GameStop. And I think that's purely a function of price. The fact of the matter is, AMC was a cheaper stock, cheaper options. And let's face it, people who participated, this, and I'm going to guess most every case, was not part of their normal game plan. It was a momentum stock, and people were, the part of their portfolio that they're willing to take a little bit more risk on. They went in and did that. So overall, this was not one that spread like, wildfire, which we saw back a few years ago.
You saw more excitement with the CPI probably on Wednesday. Was the volume really strong on Wednesday? And then Thursday you said it was the volume dried up immediately. What does that say? Even though we went over 40,000, which is, the S&P is the main index, but.
Yeah, the Dow is a wonderful index, and back when it was invented, obviously made a lot of sense. But for, it's 30 stocks, price weight, it doesn't make a lot of sense. S&P is the one that people actually care about. The Dow overall is not one that, 40,000, great. Well, maybe psychologically some people thought it was a big deal. But overall, let's face it, no professional wakes up and says, all right, here's what the Dow's doing. If the way for your viewers to think about it in terms of those who are retail, again, look at the indices that the mutual fund managers, et cetera, are being compared to. It's always the S&P 500. So that's the one that you should be watching overall. That's the one that actually matters. And because of the way it is weighted in terms of a volume and, a float and price of the stocks rather than just pure price of the stocks.
Then what about Thursday, yesterday, in terms of volume, compared to Wednesday? Go on.
Yeah, no, yesterday was actually okay. It's been a strange week in that we haven't seen the crazy volumes. Yeah, you could say, AMC and GameStop did add some volume. There's no question about that. But at the end of the day, that's not sustainable volume overall. So I think that what you're seeing, today we have an expiration, so I would expect to see a little bit more volume overall, particularly in the first half hour and in the last half hour. But it's been a strange week in terms of it almost feels like people are already sort of winding down a little bit, if you will, for Memorial Day. I think next week may help a little bit in terms of we start to get some of the retail earnings. I think those are going to be some of the most interesting earnings overall. You have things like Target and Macy's. And so we really want to see what they're going to say going forward in terms of their outlook, because it's been a little bit of a strange story from the retailers so far. And, I really thought the comments by Walmart yesterday in terms of people searching for value, which is often, as you know, people trading down a little bit in terms of maybe what they're going for. So I think we're finally starting to see the real first effects in many ways on the consumer in terms of what's going on for some of the inflationary pressures, et cetera. So it'll be interesting to see if Target, Macy's are seeing that same kind of thing overall, and if they talk about the value type customers. So for me, next week is something that gives us a real insight into going forward. And again, if you look at the rate cut expectations, a lot of people only have one on the table right now, with September being at about 68% probability of a rate cut.